I'm Dylan.
And I'm Keon.
This is Triple Play, that podcast of Star Command, because this month we watched Buzz Lightyear Star Command, The Adventure Begins.
Written by Mark McCorkle, Bob Schooley, Bill Motz, and Bob Roth.
Directed by Tad Stones.
And released on video on August 8th, 2000.
In the United States.
Direct to video.
I think I have a South African region copy of this DVD somewhere in my house.
Yeah, I believe I have this on VHS. I know I've watched this before.
Well, I know you've got Toy Story on VHS.
Yes, I do. And I have this as well, I believe.
Right.
So we watched this.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, sure. I did as well, I guess. We decided to watch this because we were like, oh man, this is going to be pretty nostalgic.
I had a lot of nostalgia watching this, actually.
Yeah, how much did you remember of this?
None of it.
Yeah, because I remembered almost nothing. The only thing I remembered from this is the 3D animated intro. I was like, whoa, this is going to bring back so many memories. But then once they went into the 2D portion, I didn't remember any of it.
Yeah. I remember watching it, but I don't remember anything
else
about it.
Yeah. No, same here, but I definitely thought I was going to have these nostalgia flashbacks of oh yeah, I remember when Zurg infected the Unimind, but no, I didn't get any of that. It was as if I was watching it for the first time, for the last time.
For the last time. Always exciting watching it again. I don't know. I had a lot of nostalgic feelings. And I enjoyed it. I had fun with it.
Yeah, I guess. I guess.
Bit of an underwhelming conclusion to this run of Triple Play episodes, though, now that I think about it.
It's fitting. It's fitting. The first season of Triple Play. I guess this is technically going to be the first season. Because we're going to be announcing, like I mentioned last week, some changes to the format of Triple Play, and just some teasers for what we're doing on podcasts in general.
Yeah, at the end of this episode. First, you're going to have to listen to us wax lyrical about Buzz Lightyear first, though.
Well, we're not going to go through the plot like we normally do, because a lot of this was just set up for the characters and who they all are.
Right.
So we're just going to talk about what we liked and didn't like from this
Well, I liked
TV
the little
movie.
green man.
Not TV movie. I guess, we can explain what this is. It's a direct-to-video thing. But it's also the first 3 episodes. They split it into 3 episodes that served as the pilot for the actual cartoon that they made.
Right.
The TV cartoon. This is an actual cartoon. But then I think the show is something like 64, 62 episodes, something like that.
Yeah,
Ran over the course of 2000 and 2001.
2001. Mm-hmm. And then it got canceled.
Yeah, before its conclusion, I didn't really look into this too much because it wasn't that interesting. But
I can't imagine it would be.
But apparently the big finale never came to fruition or whatever.
Bummer.
I think they actually made it but never released it in any form.
Bummer. Probably exists on someone's hard drive somewhere and they don't even know it.
Probably
distributed
not even on a hard
LimeWire at some point too.
Probably just on someone's tape or something, or a film reel or something like that. I don't know.
Time to go storage hunting. Buy up storage units looking just for this one obscure video. Yeah, but I liked all the characters, actually. I was surprised at how distinct they were from each other.
Yeah, well, you got all the archetypes ready to go. You got Buzz Lightyear, the hero who works alone, learns the value of teamwork. That's what this story is all about. Right.
Okay, continue with the archetypes. Who's XR?
The bot. He's the droid. The robot.
All right, what about Boomer?
He's the eager, cadet or whatever, who's a little in over his head. His heart's in the right place, but he always gets the group into trouble.
And Mira Nova?
She's from royalty, so, as you would expect. And there's a lot of Star Wars references in this, actually. A lot of knowing nods to Star Wars fans. But, yeah, she's royalty, and she's the rookie who's better than the veterans. Better than Buzz in some cases.
I guess. She also has an unfair advantage in that aspect, though, in which she can phase through solid objects.
She's also the token female woman character. Female. It's true. There's really no other women in
Actually
this.
true. Unless the little green men are women, but I feel like they're like unisex.
Yeah, well, they're men, little green men. I guess they're just
Yeah, but I
using
think they're
men as
using-
like humans,
Yeah, I think they're using. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
or not human. They're
Or
not
maybe
human.
maybe
They're
they
just
are
like,
all male and they just have like single sex reproductive systems.
well, I was going to say maybe it's just like an extremely like repressive society, and like the women are just elsewhere.
Okay, I guess that too.
I like your idea better.
Yeah, I don't really like the idea of the adorable little green men being like oppressive, sexist overlords. But this is when we find out that the little green men are linked by some sort of hive mind, which is why they all talk
Yeah,
at the same time.
Called the Unimind, and you find out this is actually something I liked, just because of how like much I didn't see it coming. Of like the Unimind isn't some abstract concept; it's literally like a physical object.
It's a big ball of energy that just chills on the little green men's planet.
Very, I guess the little green men don't really have any natural predators or enemies because it's very unprotected. It's sort of just there.
Well, they generate a shield around it when Zerg attacks.
No, but they just take it out of the shield
yeah, but they just
to
immediately...
like to worship it or whatever. What if the Unimind is actually like a sinister force that just that's like enslaved them?
Possibly. I mean, it seems like the little green men have no survival skills to speak of. When the Unimind is taken, they like have absolutely no clue what they're doing.
I guess that actually leads
Their
me into
society
something.
like falls into disrepair when the Unimind leaves.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's something I didn't like. Of like Commander Nebula says that the little green men keep Star Command running, and it's like really this galactic like force piece that keeps the peace and everything. You find out is just like run behind the scenes by the little green men. Like I don't know, I found it a little tough to swallow.
But they're the common man, so to speak.
The common little green man.
That'd be the name of my new band. Instead of John Smith and the Common Man, it's going to be Dylan and the Little Green Men. The Common Little Green Men. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I think it makes sense that you don't have just like everybody else running Starfleet, that you delegate the behind-the-scenes operation to...
You know how you see like a lot of different races in Star Command, and then like the little green men are kind of like subjugated based on race. Like they keep Star Command running, but yet the Star Command like cadets or whatever.
Like,
Like,
where's my little green
yeah.
man who's a Star
yeah, like what the
Fleet?
hell is this? Like Star Command? Like there's this show
What?
is like a lot more sinister than meets the eye. I'm finding.
I don't know. I think that there's this element of the little green men are happy in their position and chose this position. Whoa, okay. Let me finish here.
Whoa.
Then chose.
This is not sounding very good on your part.
chose to take the menial jobs.
Well, they are developing robots, I guess, or they're
With
trying
artificial
to.
intelligence.
Although Commander Nebula hasn't okayed this. Is Commander Nebula the only? Is he like the top dog? Like, is no
Yeah.
one? Is there no like committee? Is he just like a despotic overlord?
Pretty much. Seems like. We mustn't forget about Buzz's partner, former partner, ex-partner.
Yeah, warp dark matter.
I mean, with a name like that, and he's purple, like, how could you not see his inevitable betrayal coming?
I guess, and like when he supposedly dies, he like looks into the camera and smiles sinisterly, in a sinister way.
And then,
But speaking of villains, I really liked Zurg. I'm not gonna go like general overview of the characters, but like Zurg was a real standout in this because like the more I watched it, or like the further I got in the movie, I guess, the more I realized like what Zurg was, and that he's a comic relief villain.
yeah,
Like I didn't realize that this show, I guess watching it as a kid, was like it has its action moments, but it's very comedic.
Mm-hmm.
And like Zurg is a huge part of that.
Well, Zerg and XR, I think, are the two comedic relief characters.
I guess.
Weirdly enough, the two like robots.
Is
I don't know if
Zurg a
Zurg is a
robot?
robot
I
or
don't
not,
know.
actually. If
probably
you
a
go by
cyborg.
Toy Story 2, he's Buzz's father, which would, I guess, imply that he's...
Well, Anakin was like pretty much all robot by like episode 6. He's a cyborg, I
Yeah.
guess. I think in the expanded universe, it was like more than just his arms and legs. I think he like replaced a lot of his body.
Don't you need like a certain amount of your body still intact to be able to use the Force? And that was like why General Grievous like couldn't
I don't know.
access the Force, just because his only like human component was his heart and eyes.
He wasn't human. He was something else. I forget.
Okay, but I guess I'm just using human as
Yeah.
shortcut for humanoid.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't think they were thinking that far. Maybe they were. I don't know. 'Cause George Lucas like thought pretty far ahead.
Well, Zurg just turns the Unimind evil by just a single touch, which I thought was just hilarious. He's like, well, maybe I could just turn it evil if I just touch it, and it just immediately goes evil. So maybe there's something to that theory that it's just a despotic overlord over the little green man.
It was one of his funny lines. You know, if you want to turn something evil, turn it evil yourself.
I liked the brain in a jar henchman when he makes a suggestion to Zurg. He's like, Zurg's all, oh, I like that. How long have you been with me? And he's like, as a henchman or as a brain in a jar? And he's like, as a brain in a jar. He's like, oh, 9 months. But, you know, I made certain, you know, we made certain promises when I agreed to be a brain in a jar, like a holiday pay that you don't give me. And he's like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I thought that was another funny line from Zurg. He's like, I don't actually care. I was just being polite. And, like, just this idea of, like, this evil overlord who, like, definitely, like, his people are working for him, like, in a subjugated way, but, like, he's like, polite to them, and he, like, he, like, walks on eggshells around them. I don't know. And just, like, also how incompetent he is, and how he, like, pretty much falls into victory repeatedly, but gets foiled by Buzz. Yeah, so I really liked Zurg.
Yeah, Zurg was a real standout for me too. But also, as when I watched it as a kid, XI was my favorite character. My favorite line.
Because he developed from being like an actual like cool person into like a lazy, sarcastic. He's R2, I guess. Who can?
Well, my favorite line in this was when the little green men are talking with him at the end of the episode. He's like, I know I've exceeded all your design expectations. And like, he's so human. He's like, yes, I know. So many character flaws. And he's like, let's just leave it at amazing, right? And so I thought that was pretty funny. But that's all I liked character-wise. Plot was kind of almost non-existent.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was there to get all the characters together.
Right. There to introduce all the characters mostly.
Yeah.
And force them to work as a team so Buzz learns the meaning of teamwork.
Right.
And then that fake out ending where he's like, I've made my choice for who I want for my partner. And it looks like he chose Mirror Nova, but then XI pops up and then Boomer comes running down the corridor.
Yeah, and this is sort of Star Wars, medal award ceremony scene.
Right. A lot of Star Wars references in this, like you said.
Yeah, as there were in Toy Story 2, actually.
Right. Also, there's the James Bond reference when Buzz introduces himself and goes, Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear. So, yeah, that's
It's pretty much all
pretty much all I had to say on that. Actually,
yeah. Do you have any
surprisingly.
dislikes?
Surprisingly, no, not really. Actually, I'm trying to think if there was anything that when I was watching, I was like, "Oh, I don't like that," but I don't actually think there was. I guess how overpowered Mirror Nova is
Yeah, that's a small complaint.
kind of makes it seem like they don't really need the rest of the team. Since again, she can literally phase through objects.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't have any standout dislikes either. Like, it was just kind of middle of the road.
But I really enjoyed it, though. Like, I thought it was funny. And if I saw this as a TV pilot, I would definitely watch at least a few more episodes to see what's going on. To see something that's clearly not designed just to get the characters together with a possible actual plot.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it does feel like there's a little more heart and soul put into this than just like, all right, put these characters together so we can sell toys of them.
Did they sell toys based on this show?
I have no idea. but probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like Toy Story would be a merchandising juggernaut.
And it was.
Because it's literally about toys.
Yeah. Pretty much all the voice actors in this are famous, either voice actors or just actors.
Yeah, Wayne Knight does the voice of Zurg, who we mentioned as doing Al in Toy Story 2.
Patrick Warburton is Buzz.
Right.
And the Little Green Men.
Right.
And pretty much everyone else in this is famous.
Right. Nicole Sullivan is Mira Nova. I recognize the name, but I don't know where from. Larry Miller is XR.
Yeah.
So, Adam Carolla is Commander Nebula. There's another one that I feel like a lot of people know. Jim Hanks is Woody.
Tom Hanks' brother.
Didn't even know Tom Hanks had a brother, let alone two, which I just discovered. So, yeah. The one thing I do want to check is who actually animated this? Was it Walt Disney Animation Japan, apparently? And Walt Disney Television Animation working in concert with each other.
Yeah, well, they probably did all the storyboards and the key animation probably here in the States and then shipped the rest of it to Japan, which I think is how a lot of cartoons do it.
Yeah, if I had to guess, it's probably what happened. But yeah, actually, I have pretty much nothing else to say on Buzz Lightyear. I really enjoyed it, and I might actually watch a couple more episodes in my almost non-existent free time. I'm kidding, I have a lot of free time, actually. So I guess that leads us into the format changes for this show, and a little bit of a tease for what's coming to everything else decorative vegetable related.
Because if you don't know...
our website is decorativevegetable.com.
Yeah, well, we have two other podcasts, Doctor Who and Zenith, and we've been hinting at another one, which is going to cover...
Which we're going to continue hinting at. Right. We're not ready to announce that, or those plans, or what we have planned for that, around that yet.
But it's coming. And soon.
I guess this would be the first explicit confirmation that it is coming, though.
Yeah.
So... I know we've been teasing it on Trust Your Doctor.
We've been that podcast that may or may not, but probably is going to happen.
Yeah,
it's happening.
This is the first explicit confirmation that it is happening. But that's about all we are ready to say on that matter. I guess the focus of this is the upcoming changes to Triple Play,
which is that we're making the show seasonal.
Right, we're gonna
because we just can't sustain this once a month nonsense anymore.
Well, we can. It's just not as exciting.
Well, it's not as doable now that we have other podcasts to...
Yeah, it started to conflict with the other podcasts, and scheduling became an issue because the release schedule was pretty rigid the way we did it before, which is trilogy every other month, 0.5 episode in between.
Right.
Which would mean that we would basically have 2 months to watch the trilogy, 8 weekends. We'd have to find a time to watch the trilogy, and that worked fine at the start of this... The start of everything when we didn't have to try run 3 podcasts and
but it's becoming seasonal in the sense that there's probably going to be one season. Well, we'll figure that out, I guess. But probably
about 6 months.
Yeah, I would say that is not exactly 6 months, but maybe give or take.
Yeah, tentatively. And the plan is to do, instead of being a monthly podcast for those seasons, Triple Play will become weekly.
Right, and we just do maybe 6 to 7 weeks in a row.
Right.
And each one would be a different trilogy. We're not going to try and do the 0.5s anymore unless there's something we really want to do in relation to the movies.
Right, and those will be kind of bonus episodes on top of the season.
Yeah.
The reason mainly why we want to do this is because this basically allows us a lot of freedom in scheduling, because in the 6-month off period, we can just watch all the trilogies that we want to do for the season and put it all together and assemble the whole season at once. And then that way it'll be ready to go and we can just release it when the season comes around.
Yeah, this also lets us, if we want to, have more coherence within seasons. It also lets us put out more or watch more movies per year potentially.
Right.
Because as of right now, we're only doing 6 trilogies per year.
Right. Which is, if we do a season every 6 months, we'll probably get maybe a season and a half every year-ish.
Right.
So that's 9. We could even get up to 2 seasons in a year, 12 in a year, 12 trilogies in a year. There's probably going to be a couple other changes. I've been wanting to change the title music for Triple Play for a while, and there was never really an opportune time, I guess, for me to do that. And so when we come back for, I guess, season 2 of Triple Play, because we're going to basically consider all the episodes to this point, so the first 24 or 48, I guess, episodes, to be season 1. And then when we come back for season 2, we'll probably have a new title theme. And
it'll be called Triple Play, a movie trilogy podcast, which has been coming for a while.
Yeah. And do we want to announce when that tentatively might release? Maybe just give a time frame, I guess.
December, January?
Probably
2019, 2020?
Well, probably we'll just say winter 2019 to 2020, because that gives us a much wider berth there.
Right, yeah.
Is when we're planning to get a season 2 of Triple Play out, and like we said, 6 to 8 episodes and new title theme probably, and there'll probably be a couple other changes we'll think of along the way in the actual structure of the episodes, but that's more fine-grained stuff that'll come up when we get to the season.
Yeah, so that's when the next episode will be, 6-ish months from now.
Yeah, which I'm sure the die-hard fans of Triple Play are absolutely devastated about. But I think this will give us
really disappointing a lot of people. With this
I know,
change.
But I'm sure this gives us more of an opportunity, I think, to bring in listenership during the seasons.
Sure.
And then,
yeah, well, we can announce what we're starting with in that season, because we already know. It's something we've been putting off for basically almost 4 years.
But this seems like an opportune moment to finally do this trilogy, I think, because it's kind of a big trilogy and kind of starting with a bang there for season 2 of Triple Play.
Yeah, and it's Lord of the Rings.
Right. We're finally doing Lord of the Rings. It's going to be an all-day marathon. Extended editions.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I hope people are excited. All one of our dedicated fans.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm dreading it, but I'm also kind of excited.
Dread it. Fear it. Run from it. What is that even from? I don't know.
I've never heard that before in my life.
Sure, it's a movie. But yeah, so that's the plan. And like we said, we're also confirming that other podcast is going to be a thing. We'll have more details on that on Trust Your Doctor, obviously, because this podcast is going on hiatus for the next probably 6 months.
Yep.
We're going to miss you all dearly, but we will still be podcasting weekly on Trust Your Doctor, though. So if you need your content, new content every week till we die. I kind of regret putting that into this recording because now it's permanent. I feel like you could always just delete it from the Twitter bio later on, but
you can just delete it from the recording later on when you edit it.
Unless I release it this way, then it's permanent. But if you would like to email us, if you have any thoughts, now's your time to get them in about the show. If there's things you didn't like, if there's things you liked, now is definitely the time to get it in because obviously, like we said, we'd be changing things. So if you would like to do that, you can reach us at thedoctordecorativvegetable.com. Questions, comments, concerns, angry rants, love letters. You can find us on YouTube at decorativevegetable.com. You can find us on Apple Podcasts and Google Play at Triple Play. Be sure to leave a rating if you liked the show.
Check us out on Facebook, Trust Your Doctor. Like us on Facebook. Also check us out on Twitter at TYD Podcast and follow us on Twitter. And like we mentioned, we'll be back with Lord of the Rings in about 6-ish months. But until then, the end.